Siddhartha Gautama the Buddha, 566 BCE till 486 BCE, almost 2,500 years ago. Tat Shavitur Varnam Vargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. We meditate on the adorable glory of the radiant sun. May he inspire our intelligence. This speech is in commemoration on the occasion of the Buddha Purnima Day, the 9th of May, the auspicious birthday of Buddha Deva, whom we consider the greatest man on this earth, to remember him, to pay him homage. The great people, like the wise, the brave, the politicians, exercise their will over other people. They mold history according to their own design. During the period when Buddha was born, it was not difficult for him to occupy a small space in one corner of the history as a king of one of India's innumerable small kingdoms. He could have become valorous, could have become a great victor. The students could have memorized his life story, depicted in a small chapter of the modern history included in the school curriculum, and then perhaps would have forgotten him. But those who engage themselves in austere endeavor to advance the work for salvation of mankind, for completing the unfinished perfection of the human spirit, for flourishing of the human mind, for bringing clarity to the obscured human consciousness behind the thick veil of imperfection enveloped by ego, take first their seat of all times on the great throne of the human hearts. We are not able to understand our incompleteness. We are unable to comprehend the facts of human nature and our inability to attain a life of a finer quality until some fully enlightened person appears before us. Lord Buddha is foremost among those enlightened by their own profundity, who appear age after age to guide the dejected, the depraved, and the stricken people. We find in Gautama the Buddha, in powerful combination, spiritual profundity, moral strength of the highest order, and a discreet intellectual reserve. He is one of those rare spirits who bring to men a realization of their own divinity and make the spiritual life seem adventurous and attractive, so that they may go forth into the world with a new interest and a new joy at heart. The main feature of the Buddha's message is here that he not only talked about benevolence but also about compassion. When at the end of his austerities and after long meditation he gave up asceticism, all of his companions left him, because they used to think that asceticism is the only criteria, that a person is searching for the transcendental truth. But Buddha, after attaining Sambodhi, full enlightenment, engaged himself in his work and untiringly continued his work until the last day of his life. He had universal compassion for all living creatures, whether human or animal. He said, as a mother at the risk of her life watches over her only child, so let everyone cultivate a boundless love towards all beings. Many Pandits explain Buddha's nirvana concept as shunyata, that is nothingness or void. Lord Buddha preached practice of profound loving kindness to all creatures. We are not able to understand with ordinary intelligence how this loving kindness can be manifested through nirvana. In order to bring about the universal compassion, extinction of one's ego is absolutely necessary. But it does not amount to self-annihilation. Just to hear about self-annihilation, people would have never crowded to hear him. Nirvana is not the annihilation of the self, but only the extinguishing of selfhood in the ordinary acceptance of the term. And what a crowd! Most Indians became his followers in 1000 years. The great Emperor Ashoka, the period 304 BC till 232 BC, alone built 84,000 stupas to preach Buddhism. A stupa is a bell-shaped monument to offer devotion. India became a land of pilgrimage. People of other lands were drawn to her through the words of the Buddha. Along the route that Xuanzang took to travel to India from China, the powerful kings bestowed upon him the honor and help only because he was a Buddhist. And this only tells us the extent of the influence of Buddha's message in all the neighboring countries. The message of truth reached across seas and mountains to Sri Lanka, China, Japan, Tibet, Mongolia, Burma, Myanmar, Indonesia, Afghanistan, Persia, and Egypt. The serenity and gentleness of his face, the beauty and dignity of his life, the earnestness and enthusiasm of his love, the wisdom and the eloquence of his message won the hearts of men and women alike. End of part 1. Buddham Sharanam Gacchami.